Welcome to the final day of Wales Rally GB, where despite a change of date, the Welsh weather still managed to turn this event into a real slog. It may only be mid-September, but for the drivers and fans alike, it's more like the middle of winter. So we're in Wales for Rally GB, based in the Welsh capital Cardiff, with the cars serviced outside Swansea. The drivers have 4 final stages today, covering a total of 90 competitive kilometres, and guess what? We're promised some dry weather. Well, these final stages include the classic fast and flowing forests of the Rhondda, finishing in front of the crowds in the final Super Special in Cardiff. Yesterday, Marcus Gronholm's rally ended when he cracked his 307 against a metal post. It's been a year to forget for the double world champion.
One junction, I turn and I touch the right tire in the metal pole just behind the straw bale.
And he was not the only one. Vinant's Subaru Gardemeister took a spin as well. Henning Solberg had his troubles. Others were far more fortunate than Gronholm, managing to avoid retirement despite their driving errors. And someone who has ridden his luck more than anyone else this weekend. None of these, thank goodness, but Marco Martin in his Ford Focus. Yes, Martin has been on and sometimes over the limits as he tried to keep his World Championship hopes alive. Certainly with this sort of driving, no one can question his commitment to the cause.
Braking left side, 3 minus Eddie.
Look at him go, collecting the vegetation as he went. It didn't seem to happen. He was on a mission.
100 to stop. Three plus left. Come on, old girl.
You're having a lot of moments on this event so far. Too many.
Martin ended day 2 in 3rd. Behind this man, Peder Solberg, the Norwegian, has been battling with Sebastian Loeb throughout. The pressure has been building since Friday morning, and the errors are starting to creep into Solberg's driving. And despite this being Solberg's favourite rally, he just can't catch the Frenchman, who has led from stage 2. Solberg chasing a hat-trick of wins here in Wales. It could not be closer. Well, Loeb has shown he is the master on all surfaces, whether it be snow, tarmac or the dirty gravel here in Rally GB. He's got a huge lead in the World Championship, and despite not needing to win here, he's attacked right from the off, risking everything for the win. So after 300 kilometres of competitive driving, only 7.3 seconds separate Sebastian Loeb from Peder Solberg. It's going to be a frantic dash to the finish. Further down the leaderboard, there's Peder's brother Henning Solberg, still there. Early Sunday morning, and things are looking up on the weather front. But for one aspiring young rally driver, the conditions are no consolation. Mirko Baldacci started the day as leader of the junior event, but his rally comes to an abrupt end as he slips off the racing line with disastrous consequences. Whoa. It's a family affair for Ford in this year's Rally Wales. Team boss Malcolm Wilson's 17-year-old son Matthew at the wheel of this 2002 Ford Focus. Despite that poor start off the line, the youngster, who is 3rd in the British Championship, is having a decent run here. He's currently in 14th place, but there are always reminders on the road of what can happen if you let your concentration slip.
100, left 1 plus 120.
Tony Gardemeister is the only remaining Skoda in this rally. The Czech team have made real progress this season on a limited programme of events. Fabia has shown that it can compete with the top teams, but here in Wales, their drivers have been caught out by the slippery conditions, and even Gardemeister himself has slipped down to 23rd overall. Ford's test driver Mark Higgins is on course to finish as the highest British driver in this year's event. He's a former British national champion, but has never quite managed to break through to the highest level. Nevertheless, this is an impressive performance. He's currently in 8th place overall and sitting on 1 championship point.
Max left long, repeat max left long, 130. Right, late right 4 long fast in, repeat late right 4 long fast in. Then left 3 plus fast logs out.
Francois Deval is in a works focus, but looks as if he will have to settle for 5th place unless someone retires further up the field. The young Belgian hasn't got a lot of experience on this event. He's more of a tarmac specialist, but he was quick on day 2 and is clearly gaining in confidence on the slippery forest stages. Deval is looking for a new employer after Ford announced they couldn't guarantee their participation in next year's championships. And Carlos Sainz has set himself a target for day 3. That target, a podium position. He starts the stage just 17.9 seconds behind 3rd place, Martin. Martin's aim, of course, is to keep his place, and on stage 16, he's 3.5 seconds faster than Sainz. Margin now, 21.4 seconds. The big battle involves defending champion Petter Solberg.
150, small crest 30, keep left of an extra long crest and line to 5 right half long.
Well, he won the last 2 Wales rallies and he still has ambitions to defend his championship crown, so the Norwegian is desperate to take the rally lead from this man, Sebastian Loeb, while the Frenchman appears driven as much to prevent Solberg from getting a Wales hat-trick as to extend his championship lead. He's not backing off. Solberg's ahead of him on the stage, and with only 10 kilometres gone, he's already 2 seconds faster. The Norwegian's on the limit here.
Half long repeated, into flat early, 6 left minus, keep in to early half 5 right minus, into cut 5 left minus half long, into 6 right plus 60, keep right to the crest.
Oh dear, and that slide put Solberg at a disadvantage in this duel.
Early flat 6 right minus.
In a battle as close as this, every little error is incredibly costly.
Keep right to the crest, 50, 5 right plus, tightens cut minus, keep in, and 4 right plus half long, tightens early. 30, 6 left, 30, have 2 right.
I went off the road, I got stuck a little bit, so
That mishap cost Solberg 5 seconds, but Loeb is still under pressure because the Norwegian tore through the rest of the stage. Loeb is 7.3 seconds ahead overall at the start. Remember, he must be faster. He's had a mistake-free drive. It's by just 1.3 seconds. He must be grateful the Norwegian didn't have that clear run. Through Virtual Spectator, we could see how costly that error by Solberg actually was. He had a good advantage over Loeb on this stage and was set to overhaul the Frenchman, but that one slip sees Loeb catch up and pass him. Solberg still manages to make up time on Loeb after his spin. Without his error, he would have taken the overall lead. Just think about it. So Solberg lets an opportunity disappear, and it's Loeb who increases his hold on the top of the leaderboard. Martin puts a little more distance between himself and Carlos Sainz. Time then for service.
Okay guys, a bit too much pressure for you this morning?
well, of course, you know, that's life. You have to push. We're not driving for second places, we're driving for first, and it's always a big risk in that speed. If you look on the inboard or outside, you will see it's quite amazing pictures.
What happened?
Too quick. Went off. Lost a lot of seconds.
8.6 behind Sebastian, 60 Ks left to go. Can you do it?
I could have done it this morning, so I can do it again.
Sebastian, Petter made a small error this morning.
Yes, it was again very close this morning. he went a bit off. At the start he was a bit faster, then he went off. I was in front and he was a bit faster at the end also, and so it finished very close, but for the moment we keep the lead.
And a lot of talk in service about driver lineups for next year.
David, we're approaching what people call silly season, where drivers change teams and move around. What are your thoughts on a driver like Marco Martin? Would he be welcome here again?
Oh, of course, he'd be absolutely welcome here, yeah. We had a good time when he was here before. Petter and Marco sort of pushed each other forward, and I'm sure it'd be the same again. But, you know, we have to be realistic about what's best for the team in the short term, and I don't think we're quite ready for a lineup like that at the moment, because we, you know, our sights are set further in the future.
Join us after the break to see if Sebastian Loeb can hold off the charging Solberg. Welcome back. It's been another disappointing rally for Subaru's second driver, Mikko Hirvonen. The young Finn hasn't quite made the progress that everyone expected in his first year in World Rally Championship, and is currently lying in 7th place overall with just 4 more rallies left after this one. He really has to impress sooner rather than later if he's going to secure a WRC seat for next year, especially as Francois Deval has been released by Ford and has a much better record than Hirvonen. He's off the pace again. Harry Robben-Parra is another driver who won't be assuming that he'll have a drive next year, although, in all fairness, his problems this season have been mainly down to unreliability of the 307. Here in Wales, gearbox and power steering problems effectively ended his rally on day 1. He's ploughed on and is currently in 6th. Francois Deval is just hoping that someone ahead of him makes an error. He's well over a minute behind Carlos Sainz in 4th. He's out of contract for next year, but there's plenty who are watching him, watching every move indeed. Carlos Sainz is proving to be Mr. Consistency this year. It's been 10 rallies since he last retired, and he's collected championship points in 9 events. It's unlikely that Sainz will make the podium here. He's 22 seconds behind Marco Martin and isn't as quick as the Estonian through this stage, but the Spaniard doesn't appear to be too bothered.
Carlos in here this morning, he said it didn't work well. You're 21.4 behind Marco.
No, I was not trying. If he has no mistake, there's nothing I can do.
Marco Martin knows he's in the shop window as far as next year is concerned, with Ford unlikely to take up the option on his services. He's had an eventful time over the past 3 days, pushing the focus to the limit on every stage. He hasn't won for 8 rallies and went through a poor run of 3 retirements in the middle of the season, but he finished 2nd in Finland and 3rd in Japan, confirming that he is one of the best drivers in the championship.
Marco, second time through. You're still in a bit of a battle with Carlos. So how do you feel it went?
I think now we took a bit of time off him, so it should be a bit easier now. Almost doubled the lead, so it's okay.
The thrills and the spills of rallying are electrifyingly emphasised by the duel between this man, Petter Solberg, and the rally leader. He's a full 17 seconds faster than on the first run through on the stage, and it's up on Sebastian Loeb on all of the splits. He's giving everything.
Petter in here this morning, you had a bit of a moment. You're 8.6 behind.
Yeah, I think my front diff is broken. It's a very bad noise. Front diff was sensitive. Very bad noise. So struggling.
So tense times for Solberg, but what's the damage as far as Loeb's lead is concerned? He can't equal the pure pace of the pursuing Subaru, but how much time will he lose? Well, his 8.5 second lead in the rally under serious threat now. 5.1 seconds slower. Only a tiny 3.5 seconds now separate them with just 2 stages to go. Who can handle the pressure? Well, this must be incredibly tough for the chasing Solberg. What bad luck after such a fantastic charge. He's desperate to know exactly what's wrong with the car. On the way to stage 8 in Margam Park, he finds out it's a front left wheel bearing. It could hardly be closer at the top, and it looks as if Marco Martin is pretty much secure in 3rd. Stage 18, and it's another run through the famous Margam Park. Mark Higgins is Britain's only driver in the top 8. He's driven consistently well throughout the weekend, but just when he can see that the finish is coming, disaster.
left 3, very slippy, opens. Peak 8, left 3, very slippy, opens to left 4. Off the brakes. I am off them. Oh no, Burnsy.
He does get back on the road, but the championship point has gone.
Come on! Come on, lads! We're the only Brit in the rally. Please help us!
Well, that error led privateer Manfred Stoll into the points in 8th place. Carlos Sainz has clearly decided to settle for 4th place, aware that a no-risk strategy from here on in will guarantee useful points for Citroën in the Manufacturers' Championship. He's been perfect, or the perfect number 2 driver to Sebastian Loeb. And Marco Martin will be happy with the podium place. He has bounced back from his mid-season lull with a run of good finishes and managed to keep himself on the fringe of the championship race. There's much discussion about where he might end up next year, with a number of teams seemingly interested in signing him. Peter Solberg is worried about that wheel bearing.
I don't think I can come through the stage. It seems very, very bad. Very bad.
What kind of difference does it make to the car for the general public to know? Like, what difference will it make?
Well, the wheel can fall off. That's one thing. And it's very hard in the steering. And it starts to vibrate on the brake, so not good. Not good.
So for Solberg, it's the last chance saloon, and he'll be wondering how long that wheel bearing will last. Perhaps he'll feel it's better to stay safe in seconds than risk it all for the win. But with less than 4 seconds to make up and pride at stake, it's tough to make that call. Sebastian Loeb has defended his lead for more than 300 kilometres with just 30 kilometres to go. He must be desperate to keep ahead of the charging Norwegian. The stress might be starting to tell. Loeb is moving uncharacteristically from fast to dangerously fast. So quick is the Frenchman that Solberg is already more than a second behind the first split. It looks like the chance has come and gone. Loeb has not made a result-changing mistake all season, so Solberg can't rely on driver error giving him the win. Yes, they say that you make your own luck, and determination as much as downright top speed sees Solberg back in with a hope. He's blitzing through Margram, which in the rain is very, very slippery. So has that half spin been offset by Subaru's speed? Just 3.5 seconds between them, remember. Amazing running. Each one pushing the other, each one starting to affect the other in terms of how they're coping with the drive.
Crest 60, crest 50, big jump, 120. Keep right to the small crest, 100.
Loeb lost time to Solberg on the last part of the stage, on the first run through yesterday and on the same stage last year. So what about today? Well, he's definitely slower. He's lost the lead. After 16 stages heading the field, Loeb now trails Solberg by nearly 6 seconds. What an incredible drive by Solberg. So with just one stage to go, we have a new leader, Peter Solberg. He's eventually managed to overhaul Loeb and put himself in pole position for a hat-trick of wins here in Wales. Join us after the break to see if the world champion can do it. Welcome back to a thrilling Rally GB. There's just under 3 kilometres of competitive racing left here in Wales. You know, the forms side by side decide the placings. Marco Martin up against Carlos Sainz here. Well, it's just a case for Martin of making sure that he doesn't lose concentration and do something stupid. Such is his margin. That third place, the podium spot, should well be his. The Cardiff Super Special bringing out the crowds. Well, some of the rally drivers don't like these, but on a day like this, under the sunshine, There's nothing better as far as the crowd are concerned. Great to see, and great to see Martin just controlling things as he has been. That podium place looking to be his. At the midpoint, he's a useful 4.9 seconds up on the Spaniard. That really is a great time from Martin. And after almost 390 kilometers of racing, it all comes down to this. Peder Solberg is in a very strong position with his lead of 5.7 seconds. But if that wheel bearing doesn't hold up, then anything can happen here. And as you can see, Loeb is really going for it. Well, Loeb has led from the early Friday morning. Solberg's final push could have proved decisive. Now it's a question of that wheel bearing standing up to this final pounding. And of course, it's not unheard of for drivers to crash out on a super special. Solberg will remember the fate of his teammate Mirka Irvinen, I beg your pardon, who did exactly that in Germany a month ago. But it's looking good for the Norwegian. The split rapidly approaching. And Solberg is up by 4.3 seconds. Well, Solberg said he needed to win the last 5 rallies to have a chance in the championship. Only 30 seconds to go. He's close to victory. Just needs to maintain his focus. And once this spins out, he should be fine. Peder Solberg, absolutely majestic. Nearly there now. And he's heading for number 1 of those 5 wins notched up for the Norwegian that he requires. Once again, he is simply the best in Britain. The line approaches, and Solberg has done it. Relief as much as pleasure for Peder Solberg. As always, there's an army of fans here to support him, and nobody celebrates a rally win quite like Peder Solberg. He really is the showman of WRC. What a performance. Final winning margin is 6.3 seconds. Loeb led for 16 of the 19 stages here, but he's still waiting for his first win in the Wales Rally GB. Marco Martins, 6 points for 3rd place, just about keeps him in the race for the world title. Let's speak to Sebastian Loeb.
Sebastian, you couldn't quite hold off Peder Solberg, but a great rally for you.
Yes, it was a nice race. I think we were leading all the time, and just in the last stage, he was very fast, and in the 10 last kilometer, he was 12 seconds faster than us, and we don't understand why. So I think we have to work a bit.
That was 3 in a row, and that was the hardest rally I've ever done in my whole life, I think. The most difficult and so technical, so many type of conditions, and Sebastian, who you know had a brilliant performance on this rally. So yeah, I was nervous on that super special now.
So were we. With just 4 more rallies left, Sebastian Loeb is still the overwhelming